to another episode of Terrible Advice. We have a woman here who was answering a question, that question being, how long should you stay in a relationship before you give up? Now, before we get into this, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, so let's go ahead and get into this.
A TikTok where a girl had asked, how long should you stay with someone before you give up on them? I feel like you should not be waiting for anyone to do anything. As two grown adults going into a situation, knowing what you're getting yourselves into, I should not be waiting for you to become a fully self-sufficient man any more than you should be waiting for me to be a fully self-sufficient woman. That reminds me of the TikTok earlier in the summer when they were like, you know, the potential needs to already be potential. If you are actively pursuing me, you should not be actively pursuing employment, housing, healing for your mommy issue, any of those things. You need to come to me with those things already worked out, figured out. You're headed in a direction, or at least you have a good idea of what direction you're headed in. Scratch that, not an idea. You need to already be actively moving in that direction. Another reason why I feel like a woman should never wait for a man to get his shit together is because that man will literally grow to resent you. We have seen that in so many situations where the man resents the woman who really held them down. I feel like a lot of times the man resents the woman who held him down because that woman knows that he did not get to where he is today without her help. And a man, he wants to be able to take the man that you helped make him into and go be a brand new man for a brand new woman who only knows him for face value. She only knows him as the fully completed project.
Enough. I'm sorry, you guys. I just couldn't. I have 4 reasons why this is terrible advice. I'm going to go over them real quick and then I'm going to go into greater detail. Number 1 is resentment. There are reasons why the resentment builds up. And it's not what she said. A lot of resentment comes from no sex. Number 2 is you know what you're getting into. That's not true either, because relationships are a surprise throughout the process. Number 3, you should have your shit together. Well, if that were true, then she's definitely dating older men, because younger men are trying to figure things out. And then number 4, this one is probably going over her head. Her biggest competition are the beautiful women, the women who are way more feminine, right? Way more caring, way more just womanly, right? Like, she doesn't even sound, anyway, we're not gonna get into that, but what we will get into is the details. So now let's go ahead and get into resentment. Number one is resentment. This person is a nag. This person is disrespectful. This person is no longer doing what they were doing in the beginning, right? And I know that's a two-way street, but there's a difference between you having an idea and the next person putting action, execution, and strategy towards this idea. Yeah, that was great that you came up with the idea, but did you do any of the hard work that actually it took to actually bring this idea to life? Most people are not doing that. Now, here's relationship resentments. If the woman starts to withhold sex, that actually should be number 1, because if I'm successful and I now have gorgeous women throwing themselves at me, and this woman is not if I'm not getting them from this woman, that's gonna make me highly resentful, because do you see my options now? Pair that with a bad attitude, no smiling, no peace, all stress. You come home fighting, putting in all that work just to come home to a woman that's going to keep you fighting, that's going to keep you combative. You can't never chill. You can't never rest. Come on. Number 2, you know what you're getting into. That is not true at all. If you have children, you have no clue what you're finna be paying for, right? Like, in your mind, you know that it can be stressful, but you don't know why it's stressful until it happens. Because now we're talking about babysitting. You want to go on a trip. We're talking about sporting events, constantly running through clothes, running through shoes. You constantly having to buy when you don't have the money to buy. Like, you don't know what you're getting into. Let me give you guys another example, right? Let's keep it on relationships. If men knew that some of these women would take their ass to divorce court and snatch everything, You think they will still get in those relationships?
Prostitute, so she leaves when we're done, rather than sit here and put a bunch of money into a chick and then
You think those men would still marry those women? Absolutely not. It is a surprise. It is a shock. You have no clue what you're going to experience when you get in a relationship, because life happens. People pass away, that changes a person. People finances go up and down, that changes a person. People may decide to become more health conscious or not. That affects people, because if this person is eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, and this person is like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to live like that, that's boring, the food is nasty, now all of a sudden you have a real issue. So I'm just telling you, she's giving women the complete wrong advice. Number 3, have your shit together. Don't be pursuing a job. Don't be pursuing a place to live. When you look at the surface, right, it sounds good. But what this woman is actually saying, it whether she realizes it or not, she's pushing women towards older men, meaning go ahead and be a sugar baby, because the men that are going to have their shit together are usually going to be older men or men that have been in their careers for a while, because that's the only real way that you can get established, unless you have an amazing side hustle or your business and your entrepreneur skills are just off the charts, right? The majority of people do not have life figured out until they reach their later years, where their hormones come down, their testosterone comes down, and now they can actually think outside of sex. Again, a lot of resentment comes from no sex, no intimacy. And the biggest thing is something that she probably missed, which is gorgeous women or her competition. Now, why am I saying gorgeous women? Because when a man has it together, that means he's in like the top 10, 20%. When a man really has his shit together, he's in the top 10 to top 5%. Now, when you look at the numbers, or when you understand that there's 3 million more women on the planet than there are men, then you start to understand something on a higher level. For instance, out of all the men on the planet, right, if it's 167 men, 167 million men and 170 million women, then what you start to realize is, damn, only like 100,000 of those guys actually are the percentage of men that she's talking about. Out of that percentage, a lot of those guys are already married. So now even this woman here is competing for men that are already married. Now, the men that are not married, do you really think that they finna just choose a woman that they have to fight with? Let me put it to you this way, or let me ask you this question. Would you put up with a woman that you gotta fight with, knowing good damn well that you can go out and just have fun? You can go out and be stress-free. You can come home and have peace of mind, right? Because that's everything. Again, beautiful, gorgeous women are her competition. And what she doesn't realize, with those beautiful and gorgeous women, they don't all have the same morals. They will be willing, more than willing, to put out, right? More than willing to bend that thing over and shake their butt. Fellas, I want us to start to look at the bigger picture. Save yourself first, right? Because she had good intentions with this video, because when a man has his shit together, he can easily replace her. So now that we got a few things clear, let's go ahead and get into confidence. Meditate on the life that you want to live. As you meditate more, you can focus more on the details of how you want to live. Unless you sit down, write it out, draw it out, paint it out, right? You got to find a way to get it out. That way you know exactly how you want to live. Next, exercise. When you do this, it's something about being in the gym and constantly reaching goals, right? Constantly setting goals and constantly reaching goals. That's going to give you confidence in itself. And the payoff is healthy and a better looking body. The most important thing is basically what this woman is talking about. Money. Improve your finances, fellas. So 3 things that will give you more confidence: better mind, better body, better finances. Invest in things that will give you a return on your money. When you do that, I'm not telling you to get out here and blow it, because a lot of women are looking for suckers. So adapt to stripper culture. Don't complain about it, because this is the time we living in. Until things change, this is the time that we're living in. So enjoy your life. But in order to do that, you have to save yourself first. Now, with that being said, us living in stripper culture, we have friends with benefits, situationships, flings, and vacay bays. Now, I do have a question for you guys. Am I tripping? Did I miss something? Was this actually good advice? Comment under this video. Remember, when you're watching these videos, you are becoming a better version of yourself. That means you 2.4. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.